Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. In-game insurance, fraud, ship cloning and theft has been a hot topic recently. Let's take a look at why and what the current thinking behind these mechanics for the future are. A question thread was started on Spectrum, Insurance and Cheating the System, by user Quadgnum, asking how easy it would be to cheat the insurance system in-game, could you constantly claim ships back after letting your friends steal them, and what mechanics are there to prevent this behaviour. CIG's Will Maiden champions all these answers here. Yes, we've thought about it and we have a few fun ways that we want to tackle insurance scams like this. As insurance is still in development, I can't say what we're settling on, but to give you an idea regarding where our heads are at, here's what we're currently thinking. Self-destruct is a bit too powerful. We talked about self-destruct, but we're also dealing with the very real situation of shipjackers and pirates that I don't want to unbalance. If there is the legit theft and your crew stormed aboard a cargo ship, stole it, and were heading for port with all of the cargo, I don't want to super empower the victim by being able to simply make a claim to the stolen ship and then it self-destructs. I'd prefer that if we could let things develop more organically. When you claim a ship, the original ship becomes the property of the insurance company. One exciting direction we think we can take this is to have game police these problems as much as they can. If we treat the claimed upon ship as now belonging to the insurance company, we can use the same enforcement system as we would for shipjackers in general. So law enforcers would be hostile to that ship, lots of legal ports will treat that ship worse, etc. It also means we have the ability to trigger missions based on it. This isn't something we have currently, but the dynamic mission system could use the original ship as the target of a salvage or recovery mission. Insurance companies could sell the salvage rights to a ship to a salvage crew who can then strip the ship for parts. If your friend is flying it, they will be collateral damage, I suppose. When you claim on a ship, the original ship is no longer needed by the server. That is another potential route that we don't need to continue to care about the claimed upon ships. They are assumed abandoned and therefore, because of server loads, we would clean them up at the end of sessions, meaning that ships that had been stolen and claimed upon would be, once the person that had stolen them logged out, basically taken back by the server. When you claim on a ship, the original ship does not necessarily become the property of your friend. So that's another limitation, that your friend is very limited by how much they can use their ill-gotten gains of their ship. Fleet manager terminals at space stations can only summon the ships in a player's collection. So if they were to land at Port Olisar in a ship belonging to the insurance company or another player, they can land and the ship would enter the hangar but not be retrievable by them because it's not their property. Obviously, in the case of players sharing a ship, it would be retrievable by them potentially. While there are still obvious get-arounds to this, it limits the uses of a ship claimed through insurance fraud to having to stay outside of mobile, which leaves them exposed for law enforcers, reclamation teams, and others to track them down and deal with the thieves. Hit their wallet, making claims cost more. Another slightly manageable system that we will be employing is simply that repeat claims from the same account mean that costs of subsequent claims will increase because you're at higher risk. Additionally, we want to introduce more systems in the code that will scale costs and potentially even risk disqualifying players from their insurance policy if they claim too many times or if they are repeatedly claiming under suspicious circumstances. How we'd do that is still up in the air and probably exploitable too, but it is an avenue we are thinking about if we still feel the need to police this system if it's repeatedly exploited. Again, the future of insurance is still very much in development, but I just wanted to reassure you that we are actively thinking about these kind of exploits and we want to make sure that the opportunity to do this is as small as possible. We can't build a perfect system, obviously, and I'd rather not introduce lots of tight measures up front, but be more reactive to the community rather than make it too strict up front and penalise people for playing a way that we hadn't anticipated or predicted. In regards to when you can claim on a ship, the original ship is no longer needed by the server, he went on to elaborate. So in the current thinking, stolen ships, no matter how well the theft, will not be a long-term thing. You'll get to enjoy them for the session, but those ships will not be returning when you log back in. Stealing ships would be a short-term thing. Joyriding, piracy, or selling them for scrap, not growing your own fleet. They are also not currently planning on being able to legitimise a ship that is stolen via a mechanic or UEC fee. In regards to repeatedly claiming insurance and fraud. He went on to elaborate further again. Any change to the insurance system to curtail scammers trying to defraud the system also imposes restrictions and punishments on legitimate claimants. We want to use in-game solutions wherever possible, rather than a series of algorithms to determine who is exploiting or not. Because, yeah, there will be edge cases that could trigger the same game to punish someone. That shouldn't be, so if we resort to code changes to claim fees, it'll be done so carefully and with considerations to everyone's situation. Disco Lando on a Reddit thread did actually say as well, as with all things, continuing development means flux in the future. But right now, and for the last several months, the plan has been that if you leave it out, referring to a ship, anywhere when you log, it's gone. And if you hide it inside something, you can hold on to it for longer, but you will not be able to claim any form of insurance on it because it's stolen. When it goes, it goes. Now, this is my kind of afterthought on all of this. Please tell me what you think in the comments about this. It is really important as a gameplay mechanic. Theft, piracy, salvage, all of that jazz all merged together with the risk reward. I suspect our feedback to this will help influence the direction of ship theft and this kind of gameplay mechanic. Obviously, it's important to have a balanced working system that is not exploitable, but I also want pirates to be able to capture ships, to board ships, for that to be really important to the game. The idea that I can't liberate or capture a capital ship for long-term purposes and uses kind of upsets me. Now, it might not actually mean that, what they discussed here. Capital ships might have different mechanics to their capture. Theft might be different to some forms of capture too. It also kind of leads on to maybe you can't repair critically damaged ships. Maybe there is a level of damage to a ship which goes, no, this ship is a write-off, it's only can be salvaged now, rather than be able to be repaired by a Crucible in most situations, which is kind of a shame as well. But I'd like for all ships that are stolen by pirates to be potentially keepable by them. Just they can't be insured, or maybe they can't land in anywhere that's got a lawful air traffic control system, and they become missions for other people and be targeted by law enforcement and bounty hunters and stuff. I actually think that's kind of cool mechanics. The most important thing, I suppose, is to have the potential UEC gain from capturing a ship to be better than blowing it up. That could be that I sell it to an outlaw fence, or it's worth more in salvage, a lot more in salvage, because I can strip down all the components. As long as the core gameplay of boarding, capture, and risk reward and piracy is there, I am happy. As long as the insurance system does not allow for exploitation, I am happy. I understand there cannot be perfect systems, but this is why there is an open development of this game, so that we can help guide this, or at least have our opinions in any way. Even if our opinions are not implementable, even if there are systems that we would like to see and they can't work on, at least having them does guide them where it can. I'm not necessarily against players not being able to keep all the ships that they capture, as long as they can make hefty profit from that capture, as long as there are reasons for them to do that gameplay and they enjoy it. It may even help further stimulate the economy, potentially make pirates less likely to blow up your ship if they do the mechanics right, if they do the amount of money you can make from the salvage and the potential selling it and other stuff work well. And the missions that could come from it, with players hunting you down and bounty hunting, could all be quite interesting. Balance is key though, and we are part of that balance and the driving force for how these mechanics are going to work. So as I said, please chuck down in the comments below what you think about this. Also, check out Noobify's video on the same subject for his opinion too. Links below. Every month we have a giveaway for a ship. For January, it's for a Hammerhead gunboat, donated by our featured org, IDF, the Intergalactic Defence Force. They are a lawful org that focus on trade, security, escorting, and teamwork, but will also dabble in other areas of the game. Links below if you're interested in checking them out. They are active in 3.0 and have an active Discord too. All you need to do, however, to be in for a chance of winning that Hammerhead is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and then comment on any of my Star Citizen content throughout the month. Do you have any questions about insurance or what we just discussed, or the development of the game, or gameplay mechanics in general, whatever? Chuck them down below in the comments. A massive thank you to my Patreons who allow me to create the amount of content I do. If you're interested in becoming one of them as well, you can find the links to Patreon down below too. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me, and I will see you in the verse.